All right. Now for the other half of this double feature, we are looking at the Flintstones and WWE Stone Age Smackdown. And so I didn't think of until I started watching this, and they were talking about sports entertainment. I think that with the WrestleMania one, I didn't mention this in my review, but when Scooby Doo WrestleMania Mystery came out, it was aired on Cartoon Network. They called it Scooby Doo the WWE Mystery. I mentioned it in the previous review before that when I was teasing what I was doing next. Because they didn't want kids anywhere near the word wrestle. So in this one, they never say wrestling. They say sports entertainment. Because PG era, am I right? They were deep into the PG era at this time. But because this is the Flintstones, they have Flintstonified our wrestlers. So we get wrestlers like John Cena Stone, Daniel Bryrock for about 5 minutes, Rey Mysterio Opal, Mr. McMagma, Nikki and Brie Boulder, the Boulder Twins, CM Punk Rock, Marvel Henry, and The Undertaker. Guess they didn't want to change his name. But the whole story revolves around there's a carnival for charity, and Fred wants to go on a vacation to Acapulco, but he fails to get an advance on his paycheck from his boss, Mr. Slate, who is voiced by John O'Hurley, but it doesn't sound like him to me. I'm not a big fan of John O'Hurley, so I would have, if I realized who it was, I would have hated the character because I'm not a big fan of John O'Hurley. I think he's the worst host of Family Feud, in my opinion. You know, Richard Dawson's number one. Close behind him is my man Steve Harvey, and after him is Louis Anderson. All right, but anyway.
Hey, wait a minute. What about that one guy that was from Home Improvement?
Yeah, Richard Conner. He'd be number four.
Okay.
And in between there would be that one guy from the 80s that nobody remembers. And then at the very end is John O'Hurley because I don't particularly care for that guy.
Anyway, off topic.
Except for in Seinfeld. But even then, he's arrogant. Anyway, how was I saying? So they're doing this charity thing. And what happens is Barney gets into a fight with CM Punk Rock because CM Punk Rock is like yelling and berating Hoppy, his Hopperoo. Barney's Hopperoo, by the way. And so they get into a fight. Fred gets the $1 million idea to start a sports entertainment federation so that, and get together guys like John Cena Stone, who's introduced as the boss's son-in-law. Not Mr. McMahon's son-in-law, but Mr. Slate's son-in-law. Are you sure that's what it meant, Triple H? I'm just saying. Anyway, and so they put this together, and that's why I'm going to sit down now. Basically, it's what it is. He wants to double his vacation fund, even. And they do the play on words, where Wilma's like, because he lies to Wilma, because it's Fred Flintstone, and says, Wilma, I got a poker game with the guys tonight. She's like, now, Fred, you're not going to try to double our money into some harebrained poker game. Wilma, I promise you, I'm not going to double our money in a harebrained poker game. It even comes back later when she calls him out on it. He goes, so you said you weren't going to double our money in a harebrained scheme. No, Wilma, I said I wasn't. I didn't. I doubled our money on a harebrained. I said I wasn't going to double on a no-brain poker game. This is a different sports entertainment fest. But yeah, so he meets with John Cena Stone, and due to my chair, there we go. Couldn't get the lean back, and they give him to help find people. So they go to this office building and they get Rey Mysterio Opal, right? And then they go to a graveyard and we get The Undertaker. But they do a thing where there's this weird looking guy digging the ditches, and Fred sees him and, huh? And he's like, no. And the real Undertaker pops up. Why is he it bugs me. It does bug me. Why is the only one that doesn't have a Flintstone-ified name? The Undertaker. Could it not come up with something creative for him? And so then Fred starts selling tickets to the show. Like I said, he tries to get an advance on his paycheck, but he messes up, and so he basically Mr. Slate chisels him a paycheck because it's Stone Age, and gives it to him, and then smashes it when he gives it to him, so he doesn't get anything. So then Fred has to depend on this. And yeah, you got CM Punk Rock and Marble Henry. They're sort of at tag teams. So they're sort of at tag teams, and they team up on Barney and Hoppy, and this one Barney kicks his ass. Which, yes, CM Punk, the best in the prehistoric world, and yes, they don't explain how he knows they're in the prehistoric world, but it's a cartoon. Who has time? He's thrown off by Barney Rubble. There's a lot of things that are weird, such as the Undertaker says the line, "Your ice cream is melting." And then in the next scene, he's in purple ties to show butt cheeks. And there's one more thing. I don't remember what it was, but...
something about Barney Rubble being his best friend?
Undertaker?
Yeah.
Well, Undertaker talks to Fred about Barney being his best friend. I don't know. But, so, after this first night, he promises he's never going to do it again. Because Wilma catches him. I'm never going to do it again. I got the money. Until Mr. McMahon says, "Hey, you got a good thing going here." And then hands him more clams because that's the currency in the Flintstone land. And so then he gets...
Can I be honest about something?
Huh.
When I watched the live action Flintstone movie, the original,
Yes.
and they had their money on there, I thought they were sand dollars.
Clams.
Yeah, I thought they were legit sand dollars. It made more sense.
So then Fred gets on his high horse and decides, I'm going to make more money. So he spends the entire fund to rent out the Bedrock Arena to pay for advertising space, a new friggin' suit, and a pinky ring. All so he could have one more match, and he tries to wrangle Barney in to a
rematch with
CM Punk Rock. Here's what the funny part is, and I didn't realize it until after the fact, but where CM Punk Rock wants a rematch with Barney, and he's like, I'm gonna give him what he wants. And Mark Henry pops in, ice cream! Marble Henry, we're not gonna give him ice cream. CM Punk Rock talking about ice cream. Hello!
WWE ice cream box.
And then that's when Undertaker says, your ice cream is melting. Yeah. But yeah, so he rents this whole thing out. Goes to Barney. By the way, why does Fred like to bug Barney in his bathroom? First time Barney's there brushing his teeth. And you do get a funny joke because you know you got all the creatures that serve as their appliances and household items where you get it's a living. But you got the toothbrush that says, I went to college for this. And he's going to brush his teeth.
What college you have to go to would actually get a toothbrush.
A toothbrush. College? Really?
Then again,
for this, I went to college?
Moses Jones, Drix was a college boy.
He was a freaking pill.
Exactly, but he was from college.
Anyway. So yeah, he bugs Barney in his bathroom here. Barney spits the toothpaste in his face. Yep, I pasted your foot. By the way, I'm not necessarily like, I don't necessarily care for the voice that Kevin Michael Richardson does for Barney. It's very much season 1 Barney Rubble when what's his name? The Looney Tunes guy did it at first. Mel Blanc. When he did the first voice of Barney Rubble, that's what it sounds like. I think they were going for that. Whereas the Barney Rubble, you remember the voice, hey Fred, hey Fred, when they first started, you know. Even then, like back then, they had a different theme song too. They had, but the one we all remember is Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones. But if you were to get the complete series DVD or watch some of the episodes, Barney would sound different. The theme song would sound different, and you go, what is this? Right? What is this? And then you watch some of the later stuff where Bam Bam and Pebbles are all grown up, and they're neighbors are monsters, and it's like,
can I bring something up about that whole Barney from the early stuff sounded different than he is now?
yes.
Meg was the same way in Family Guy in the first season.
Well, yeah, because Meg was originally voiced by Lacey Chabert in season 1 until Mila Kunis took over in season 2, I believe.
And afterwards.
Yeah. And even...
is she still current, or is that someone else now?
Yeah, I think she still is. And even Dan Castellaneta did a different version of... It was the same guy. It was Dan Castellaneta that did Homer Simpson's voice, but he changed it over the years. It was different at first, and he changed it to the Homer Simpson we know now. But anyway, topic.
Sorry.
Back to this.
Let's hope we get some some good creative content.
Barney Rubble's voice, but it's really weird. And Brian Zane pointed this out in his review. It sounds like Barney's laughs are like taken from the old TV show because his doesn't match with Kevin Michael Richardson's voice the way he's talking. It's very weird. But Jeff Bergman as Fred Flintstone is actually pretty good, and you got Grey Delisle, Grey Griffin, as she is here doing the voice of Betty, and she was Daphne in the Scooby Doo. And then you have I forgot who's doing Wilma, and like I said, John O'Hurley is Mr. Slate, and then you got the WWE superstars. I forgot. They said the line producer was. I forgot who they said it was, but it was someone that I don't know. But anyway, we get to this big show. They had a wrestling match. Barney again. He confronts Barney in his bathroom. Barney's going to take a piss this time. Hey. Or as I said, when Betty knocked on the door, Barney, are you okay in there? And I went, it's okay, buddy. I'm just taking a shit. I don't know. But, yeah, it looks like he's going to take a piss because he's walking up to the toilet. And then I'm like, Fred, leave Barney alone when he's in the bathroom. For God's sake. Dexter's dad said it.
Even Barney was like, there's a thing called the front door, Fred.
Like Dexter's dad said in Dexter's Laboratory, man's bathroom time is a special time.
Okay.
Something like that. But it's the one with the fish ghost that he and Dee Dee have to deal with. And then the Annie comes in. What did I tell you kids? This is Dad's bathroom time and something like that. I don't know. But anyway, Barney says, no, Fred. I'm not doing a wrestling match. So Fred just tells Rey Mysterio, like they do a thing like with the crowds, they don't like the thing like earlier. Rey Mysterio and Rey Mysterio, and John Cena Stone, they have a little bit of a match. John Cena Stone hits Rey Mysterio with a pile driver that would kill someone in real life. And then they shake hands or whatever, and the crowd's like, oh, boo. We don't want to see that, because we want to see. But that's not a reflection of real crowds, because if we know that people are friends in real life and they respect each other, we're not going to go, boo, I mean, Fred's saying you got to act like you hate each other, but in a family-friendly way, but it's Rey Mysterio and John Cena, the two guys who have barely been heel. I know Rey Mysterio was heel in WCW, and John Cena was heel at first when he was first started the whole Dr. Thugonomics thing. But then once I don't think Rey Mysterio has been heel at all in WWE. And then John Cena, once he got to a certain status, he was never heel, although they should have turned him heel at some point. But
they did it for the kids.
For the kids, I don't want kids to cry. I say let them cry.
Yeah, like Bailey.
She moited the Bailey buddies. That's different. Anyway.
Yeah, but it got the little girls crying.
Anyway, so we have this big match. Barney's a no-show, but I guess Fred lied to Barney and told him the match was off. And so they do this thing, and John Cena Stone, Rey Mysterio, and Undertaker say, no, we're done, until they're going to save his ass later. And like I said, Daniel Bryan has a big cameo earlier in the film, or special, whatever it is. It's not even a film, it's 52 minutes long. Hey, where Fred is handing out flyers, and actually it's John Cena Stone that's handing out the flyers, and they do a Looney Tunes moment where they go, Yes, you want to take it. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. And John Cena looks at the camera and goes, with his eyes. No, you don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Yes! 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 The only thing to finish this is for John Cena to look right at the camera and say, ain't I a stinker? That would have been perfect.
Especially since Hanna-Barbera, I think? No,
Hanna-Barbera. Looney Tunes. But this was going to air on Cartoon Network at some point anyway.
But at that time, I think Looney Tunes was on Boomerang.
Which is owned by Cartoon Network. But anyway, it started out as a block on Cartoon Network, but we're not talking about Boomerang right now. Anyway, so we get to the big match. And the cage was earlier, but the cage was earlier. There's a cage, whatever. But here, Barney does show up to help Fred after the other wrestlers decide to help him too. Here's what I have a problem with. So they're doing this whole thing, right? On there, Fred's getting his ass kicked by CM Punk Rock. And then all of a sudden it cuts to Barney, Wilma, and Betty, who are at Fred's house watching TV. And all of a sudden Barney says, "Hey, look!" at the TV. And I'm thinking, no, how long was that on? Because you don't see him turn on the TV or anything. I just
you don't see him channel surfing either.
No channel surfing, and he just notices out of view, out of the blue. Excuse me. You think they would have seen this before, and a woman would be pissed. Oh, Fred, that whole sort of thing. But it, I don't know, just comes out of nowhere. It's a kid's.
Also, can we bring up the fact that Pebbles actually spoke?
Yeah, but besides saying that, what did she say?
Yep.
Oh, yup, that's
because Wilma was telling Pebbles that she had a bad feeling about whenever Fred says that.
And then Pebbles looks at the camera and goes, "Yep."
Oh wait, it was Wilma was telling Pebbles that whenever Fred tells her that I cannot speak. Basically, whenever Fred said not to worry, Wilma always worries, and then she has a bad feeling, and that's when Pebbles was like, "Yep."
By the way, Wilma's cooking a whole fish. It's not cut up; it's a whole fish in the pan, head first up, and then she can't get it to flip, and then Fred just goes, and it flops up upside down.
Not to mention that fish was bigger than the pan.
Yeah, well, it's a cartoon, but why cook a whole fish? There's bones in there. I mean, come on. And it's the only animal I've seen in this that isn't an appliance.
Or a dinosaur.
Or a dinosaur or appliance. Well, it's a prehistoric fish, you can tell. But usually all the animals are reserved. You see a Bronto steak or something like that, but it's already cut. This is a full freaking fish they're cooking.
Then again, you had Mr. McMagma selling live squid.
Live squid. And CM Punk falls in it twice. But anyway, so Barney comes to save the day. Didn't think I'd say that. And helps defeat CM Punk Rock. And then, oh, by the way, Bam Bam speaks too. He says, "Bam Bam."
Then again, that's always what he says.
That's the joke. Anyway, Bam Bam kicks Marble Henry's ass, excuse me. Boom, bam, 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 bam. And then they go to Acapulco with John Cena Stone, Rey Mysterio Opal, and The Undertaker for some reason. What happened to Daniel Brightrock? And the Boulder Twins were in this. And I'm sorry, when you call them the Boulder Twins, it sounds sexual. Because the Boulder Twins sound like boom, 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 boom. Okay? You know what you're doing.
There's one more thing you should probably bring up, is that the fact that Mr. McMagma told Fred Flintstones, "You got something good here, pal." And he's like, "Why don't you take the idea?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll take the idea. And even if it takes me 65 million years.
Vince McMahon stealing other people's ideas? No! Anyway, I will say this is pretty good. It is enjoyable. It's the Flintstones, something I grew up on. The only big problem I have is it's kind of short. It's 52 minutes long. It's not even a full movie. It just comes and goes like that. But it's nice. It works. And the voice actor's doing a good job, except for maybe the one with Barney. They're going too much into the original one. People who are used to the usual voice of Barney are going to go and watch this and be like, doesn't sound like Barney to me. Unless they know about the earlier episodes, which because Cartoon Network never aired every episode in order, sometimes you get the da-na-na, da-na-na. Like sometimes I have blocks where you have one episode that goes da-na-na, da-na-na, next episode, Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, so you'd have Bonnie talking like this, and then you're Bonnie talking like this, and it's very confusing. When you watch my Boomerang Cartoon Network back in the day, it was very confusing, you know. But, yeah. So this was pretty good. So what are your thoughts on the Flintstones and WWE Stone Age Smackdown? I'm Stone Cold. In the comments, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And next...
Yeah, that'd be interesting if Stone Cold Steve Austin was in that movie.
We're back to the land of the awesome one with the Marine 4 moving target. So until then, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty.
And I've been Big LT.
I'll see you in the next one.